Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing my path from Diamond 1 into Master Rank 5 on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So let's just go ahead and get straight into the replays. So here's game 1, and for anyone who doesn't know, you have to win basically 4 times to move up a rank in Master Duel. And I was playing against what I perceived to be Super Heavy Samurai. They're going to motorbike into Wakaushi. And then on Wakaushi here, I am going to chain max C. They have to resolve and they get their Big Benki summoning the Wakaushi, and I draw a Rise Heart, so I was glad I drew a name. And then Big Benki's going to add Soul Gaia, and they're going to normal summon it and make Baguska so as to not give me too many draws. But unfortunately for them, I draw Infinite Impermanence off of their Baguska summon, and they set a card and pass. So going into my turn, I draw Birth, Imperm, Baguska, and then I use Pressure Planet Ratesoff to grab Fenrir just to try to bait any interactions. And I summon Fenrir, which baits out Centurion Phalanx, which, means this is a Centurion deck with a Samurai engine. But after I activate Birth to bring Fenrir back, it's pretty much game over, and they just scoop. For the second game, I'm up against Snake Eye, and if I remember correctly, I think they kick things off with normal summon Poplar. And this kind of signals to me that they don't have a good hand, so I immediately activate Ash Blossom, holding the Infinite Impermanence for a Diabell Star, or possibly to use as a board breaker. From here they go into Link Karibo, which puts Poplar back in the Spell and Trap zone. And then I'm pretty sure they just set a card and pass. So my hand is quite good, and then I draw the Ash Blossom for turn, which lets me Special Unicorn, Normal Ash, and make Baron. I have Birth to birth back Unicorn and essentially go full combo with the Baron up, and Baron's going to get rid of Link Karibo and negate whatever the back row is. So I probably do have game on board this turn, and they just end up scooping it up. For the third game, I promise it's much more climactic, and I open up a very poor hand going second into Voiceless Voice. You'll see here I have double Pathfinder, and then one of the worst Kashtira monsters, Scareclaw, hard open Big Bang, and a Birth that pretty much does nothing without the Ratesoff search going through. And this Voiceless player, they open crazy. They pretty much get the maximum amount of Voiceless interruptions out onto the field. They are going to be ending on Skull Guardian with Low, the Trap card, and they're also going to have Saphira and Saravis on the field. So pretty much the maximum amount of interruptions that the Voiceless deck can do is what this player was able to put up against me, and it was very annoying because I didn't have a good hand at all. My draw kind of helped a little bit, and I was able to meander my way into turn 3, but the Scareclaw Kashtira that I was kind of talking crap on a second ago actually did come in clutch to at least get me through to another turn. So yeah, we're going to be seeing that here in a minute. Pretty much just waiting for them to combo off on me. After this Dynamundo, they're going to be passing over. And then Dynamundo is going to bring back Skull Guardian, and then Low is going to summon itself back to the field. But I draw Rise Heart, and it doesn't necessarily fix my hand, but it's at least something. I could potentially get it out there, and then banish a guy to birth back. But I normal summon Pathfinder. They tag out for the ritual version of Saphira. I'm going to draw 2 cards, and then I activate my Pathfinder, get Ratesoff, and then I use Ratesoff to grab Fenrir since it's most likely to bait some kind of interaction. Fenrir ends up getting taken out by the trap card, which is fine with me because I have Birth. And then I use Scareclaw Kashtira here to summon itself so that I'm able to run over Skull Guardian in the battle phase by negating its effects when it attacks. So I get rid of that negation with that, but then Saphira loops the Birth out of my hand, which is pretty much the one card I needed it to not take away. I probably could have won this game, like, you know, much easier if I just had that Birth. So anyway, I send Theosis for Riseheart to get my Fenrir back for next turn, and then I just make Shangri-Ira because I hard drew the Big Bang. So the plan here is to kind of set the Big Bang and try and resolve a board wipe and survive through until turn 4. Unfortunately, my Shangri-Ira gets ashed here, so I'm not getting any extra value out of anything, but I do wait until the last possible second to use this Big Bang just to make sure I'm clearing the maximum amount of monsters. You'll see here they add Saphira and then activate its effect, and then whenever they use it to go and ritual summon Skull Guardian and get a negate, that's whenever I flip up the Big Bang just to make sure I'm clearing the maximum amount of monsters before the negate hits the board. And here I was kind of thinking that if they didn't really necessarily know what Shangri-Ira did, which, I mean, I know that's a lot to ask for in Diamond 1, but they might try to attack into it, run it over, and then it might survive, and I might, you know, potentially get some advantage on the following turn. But as it turns out, they end up going for, I think it was Dynamundo to shuffle it back into the extra deck. So yeah, here you'll see Low come back and they'll add a Saphira, and then they will use Low's effect to grab another spell. And then they summon their Cerebus and link off their 2 excess cards into the Dynamundo to shuffle the Shangri-Ira back into the extra deck. So yeah, the Big Bang ends up helping me survive because if they had the other monsters on the field I was dead, but in this case I only take like 6,000 plus damage. I'm on 1650. They return the trap card to their hand and they just get set up here. They make a Masquerena, and I just have another huge board I need to get through. I have a dead Pathfinder in hand with a Fenrir, and unless my top deck's really good, I'm just not playing through this. So I draw Ash Blossom, which is really not that great. I can make Baron at best. And after the Skull Guardian comes back and hits the field, the Low comes back, and I have Trap Card, Skull Guardian, Masquerena to play through, and surprisingly, the opponent just surrenders. So I had no right winning this game. I just got really lucky. I'm not sure why they surrendered or what happened. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it. In the next game, I'm up against Dragon Link, and I am very happy to see I open Maxi. My hand is really, really good, and as soon as Black Metal Dragon hits the board, I activate Maxi, but it's met with a Called by the Grave. And unfortunately for me, that means they're just gonna vomit a bunch of dragons onto the field and make a huge negate board that I'm gonna have to play through. And it's just so much stuff that I think I'm just gonna fast forward their turn here, and we'll just talk about the end board at the end. Okay, so as you can see, the end board we're dealing here with is Dissipator, Borload Savage, Borland, and Masquerena. I get Riseheart off the top and kick things off with Pathfinder, which is immediately negated by Borland. And then Pathfinder, I have to clear it off the field so that I can summon Unicorn. And then they excuse me, they activate Masquerena to make Little Knight, but I think there's some kind of misclick here, and Little Knight ends up banishing itself because I activated Unicorn, so I don't know if they thought they were activating the second effect instead of the first, but they basically banished their own little knight by mistake, and it's a really huge deal that wins me the game. And then I summon a Rise Heart, and I attempt Theosis, and then the Savage Negate comes down. And then this is really important here, but Dissipator doesn't destroy when it negates, it just negates. So if he had chosen to destroy this Unicorn, it would have been, you know, a lot better, but instead he chooses to negate, and yeah, the Unicorn stays on the field. And then I am able to go into Shangri-Ira, which, by the way, I did have a kill this turn by using Arsenal Falcon. I was running low on time. I thought really long about activating the Unicorn and what would happen. I was just going to scoop if he destroyed it, but instead I make Shangri-Ira, and then I climb up into Zeus, which is able to clear his entire field with all the negates gone, and there's no follow-up engraved or anything. I checked. But yeah, I just didn't have time to do the math on the Arsenal Falcon, so I just did the fast play with Zeus just because it was the fastest thing I could think of that would work. And then they top deck the Druid Swarm, and they end up scooping, even though I'm in my own top decking situation. So yeah, that misclick on the Little Knight really mattered, and that is exactly how I became a Master Duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. You can see right here I have my little lion badge. It says I'm Master Rank 5. But that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you want my Kashtira deck list that's playing the Raid Raptor cards in it, and it's got some other spicy stuff in there, I think I'll probably share my deck list onto the channel. And also, if you happen to catch this video early, I'm probably going to be streaming Duelist Cup games all weekend. So yeah, if you like the content, subscribe and make sure you check that stuff out, and I'll catch you guys next time.